Greg, obviously Kofi Coburn is a load. How did you try to combat him, and what does he give opponents every night?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else in the country that size, that mobility and what he does, and probably as much as what the effectiveness that he has, it's how they surround him with shooters. And obviously, you're cognizant of threes, and they do a good job of entering to him from angles that it's harder to get help immediately to it. And obviously, he's a very good player.
Greg, what were they doing so well to frustrate you guys offensively, especially from the three?
I don't know, maybe the rim was smaller when we were shooting at it. I mean, I'll look through the 24 attempts. I thought, for the most part, they were pretty good looks. I mean, Brad has shot 50% from three for the last how many games back? You said 10 games. I mean, you obviously have to be able to knock down some shots, and that plays into everything else and helps loosen up some things in the paint. So it's a combination of things.
I was going to ask you about the threes, but I guess I'll pivot to just Johnny and Brad. I think they were combined 8 of 31. Can you win a game against a quality opponent if those guys aren't scoring consistently?
Look back through the box scores. I think we already have. Like we've already won when they've struggled. So.
Coach Demonte Williams spent a lot of time on Johnny Davis tonight. He obviously did a really good job. What kind of defensive ability does Demonte Williams bring?
Well, he's experienced. I mean, that's one thing. He's been through this a few times, so he understands some things. And I thought Johnny had some good looks too. I thought Johnny was, get the free throw line 14 times. That was important. So give credit to Illinois for defending him, but we didn't do our part either of making some shots. Here in the middle.
How frustrating and how much did it affect you guys when you were getting into foul trouble? Steven had 2 in the first half, and then Chris had 4 pretty for most of the second.
Really no impact on things. I'm going to rotate the guys through those 2 guys, and I can use Ben there if I need to. That really didn't. I didn't think that was as big an issue. Maybe I should have just taped Steven and Chris together, have them together trying to guard Kobe.
You've been through these Big Ten title races into February. These are 2 teams doing it. Illinois got a tough stretch. I know you've had a tough stretch. What's it take in February to have teams go on runs and win on the Big Ten title?
Well, you got to play well. I mean, obviously, we won it 2 years ago. We shot it really well down the stretch. But you just focus. We're barely at the right at the halfway mark, just crossing the halfway mark now. So we got a long ways to go, and that's why I tried to emphasize with our guys after the game. There were some things we did well. We got it down to 6, and we can't dwell on the fact that we were 3 for 24. And Kobe's going to be he's a handful for everybody. Now they have their full complement of everybody. They're a really good team. Brad's got a good team. I think you just move on to the next game. You can't dwell on what didn't go well, and we have to get ready for a Penn State team that's playing pretty well right now on Saturday.
Greg, first half, was it second chance points and getting to the free throw line that helped keep you guys in that game?
Yeah, I think getting to the free throw line. I thought obviously you don't want to have there was 42 points on 36 possessions in the first half, so defensively is where we needed to turn some things towards the better. But yeah, I thought we did a good job. I thought Carlson was active on the glass. I thought we did some good things. Like I said, getting to the free throw line was important. And then we gotta knock down some shots, a fair amount. I mean, it doesn't have to be astronomical, but you can't be 3 for 24.
It felt like Lauren Bowman, when he came in that second half, gave you guys a little bit of a momentum change. What did you see from him today?
Yeah, I thought he played well. I think he's getting more and more comfortable as he's gotten, more and more practice time as he gets back and has been healthy. And, he's practiced well, which is always the first step. But yeah, I thought in our run back to get it to 6, he was a big part of that. And looked like he settled in and, did some really good things. It's good to see. We can build on that.
Brad was really angry that Trent Frazier didn't make the Defensive Player of the Year list.
because he doesn't get a lot of steals. Do you,
Brad Underwood was that?
Brad Underwood,
Oh, okay.
do you have an opinion about Trent Frazier's defense?
I've always thought he's been a terrific defender. Just shouldn't have had this. Well, I guess we're taking advantage of the COVID year too with Davison, so otherwise he would have been gone, right? Would have been on eligibility. No, Trent's a good player. I mean, he always has been. He's competitive. He battles. He doesn't shoot it exceptionally well tonight, but he can impact the game. 7 assists, 1 turnover. Good players find ways to impact the game and help their team in ways other than just scoring. And Trent's one of those guys.
Anything else for Coach? One more, last question.
You talked about Kofi's effectiveness is helped by the outside shooting. When you're building a game plan, I mean, how do you kind of decide which one to try to cut off over the other?
Well, I mean, it's somewhat, that's a challenge. I don't want to give away everything with all the, but you try to minimize, how many touches he can get, where he gets it, your ball pressure, where you can get help from. I don't think it's anything that everybody else is trying to do as well. It's just when, you're cognizant of threes and they have shot it well at times. And that's obviously you play that cat and mouse game between what they can do in the paint versus threes, and so we'll look at the film and try to be better and help us improve in that area.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank you. Tyler Wall and Johnny Davis will be available outside the Wisconsin locker room immediately.
Come see
Needs them.
for
Always follow us.